Another Kansas race, another Kansas thriller. I'm Dan McFadin with Frontstretch.com, and with me is Steven Stumpf, and we're coming to you live, not live, we're coming to you from Victory Lane at Kansas Speedway, where not too long ago, Ross Chastain was celebrating his win in the Hollywood Casino 400. And you may realize something, that he's not a playoff driver, right, Steven?
That's right. He was one of the first ones out, along with Chris Buescher. But it's been quite the playoffs for those non-playoff drivers. Buescher made that incredible last lap pass against Shane Van Gisbergen to win Watkins Glen, and here Ross Chastain holds off William Byron, Martin Truex Jr. to win here at Kansas for his first win of the season. We're now up to 17 winners.
I meant to look that up.
It's been quite the season of parity, and It's I think it's definitely fun just not seeing the usual suspects, in victory lane, especially considering we thought today was going to be a battle between Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson.
You're right. But yeah, we're through 4 playoff races. We've only had 2 playoff winners. There's now been 11 playoff points left on the table because of Ross Chastain and Chris Buescher. So that might come into play as we get deeper into the playoffs. But no, yeah, Ross Chastain wins first win of the season, snaps the 29 race winless streak. It didn't come without some potential pitfalls. He had to avoid a spinning Kyle Busch after he made contact with playoff driver Chase Briscoe late in the race. Chastain said it was racing luck that he avoided getting caught up in that. Yeah, as you mentioned, other issues. Denny Hamlin, he probably had a winning car, but multiple problems on pit road. A slow pit stop. He had to pit a second time under caution due to a loose wheel. He had to come up to the field multiple times, and he only came out with a eighth place finish. He said afterwards on pit road that his pit crew knew this is one of their worst days ever, and they have to work to clean it up. What did you think of what Hamlin did?
I would agree with that assessment. He also said when I got to interview him briefly that he thought that they had a winning car, but every time they made their way up to third, the top 5 caution comes out, they lose 10 spots on pit road. It was kind of just an automatic, every single time it happened, and he also said that. He also was kind of surprising. He said he feels like it kind of feels off a little bit. Just there's a lot going on, but there's a lot going on currently. With the charter situation for 2311, and as well as rumors that FedEx may be downsizing or not coming back next year. So, I mean, he salvaged the best he could out of the day, but it could have been a lot more.
Another guy who came so close was Martin Truex Jr. He finished third. He only has 6 races left in his full-time NASCAR Cup Series season career, and this truly might have been his best shot this season to win a race so far. But he led laps, but it just came down to some late restarts, and he wasn't able to catch it back up to either William Byron or Chastain to get the win. So we now go to Talladega, where he's never won in the Cup Series, and then after that it's on to the Charlotte Roval, where he's good on road courses, and he came close to winning there the very first year. But since then, I don't think really he's been in play there.
No, he is not. And something I'll also add is that Richmond in the spring seemed like to be his best chance at a win until that caution came out and he lost the lead on pit road. But that team, even if it wasn't a win, they just needed it. Mm-hmm. This is Truex's first top 5 since Kansas in May.
My God!
And since that Kansas race, he had about a 20 race stretch where he had an average finish of 24th. They've had the speed all along. It just nothing seemed to go their way, whether it was mistakes on their own part, getting caught up in other people's mistakes, but they finally had a top 5 showing, and who knows, before Kansas they were great, maybe after Kansas they'll be great too.
And as we mentioned, Kyle Busch had a winning car until it all came falling apart with his spin there with, I believe, 32 laps to go. What did Kyle Busch have to say afterward?
Well, this is when he and Ross were really battling for the lead in the middle of the final stage. Mm-hmm. Ross was applying the pressure, so he knew that he had to, make quick work of the lap cars. He tried to, he knew time was the essence to pass Briscoe. He tried to go to the top, but basically, once kind of Briscoe kind of drifted up there too, all the aero got taken away from Kyle Busch's car. He he lost control, and and since you mentioned Ross, barely avoiding it, there was a moment when Busch spun and it looked like he was like veering left and right, and then all of a he might have veered into Chastain, but then he just did one final pull to the left and spun.
Yeah.
He still, he was still seventh. And
that was a he was seventh.
Yeah, they were on such a long run that they had, he had managed to spin, have the caution come out, and it was still running seventh.
Yeah.
He made his way, he pitted with everyone else, made his way up to fifth, but by that point, at the final restart, he just lost a bunch of ground. Probably the car wasn't the same. He fell back to 19th. Briscoe also had a bad day in 24th. I'll also go for the other couple of people that had bad days. One of them was Kyle Larson, who was one of the favorites heading into today. Very early on in the stage, punctured tire, hits the wall, and from there the car was just never the same. They just never had the speed. He also said that they were terrible in restarts, so he was only able to muster a 26th place finish. Also surprising was Tyler Reddick, winner here at Kansas, regular season champion. We expected him to be great. He qualified fourth, and they just did not have the speed at all. I don't even think they got a single stage point. He got held up behind Keselowski on a restart, and he finished 25th. When I asked him just how do you reset after a weekend like this, he said he just didn't have an idea.
Yeah, bad day. And one thing about Larson, he actually had to pit 10 times.
Yes.
Over the course of the race in order to fix the damage from when he got into the turn one wall. I'm not sure where he finished, but it could have been worse his day.
Yeah, definitely. He's still above the cut line just because of all the points he earned, especially earning those 7 after dominating Bristol. But, definitely a missed opportunity for them today. Also a missed opportunity for Christopher Bell, won the pole. He looked to have the field on lock. He led 122 laps. I think he led 20 of the first 150 or so. But end of the first stage, while trying to hold on for the stage win, he hits the wall. Then on a restart towards the end of the second stage,
he gets aero blocked by Alex Bowman into turn 3 wall, and he just drops like a rock.
And he does the exact same thing. This time, it seemed like the damage was a little bit worse, as he had to pit, restart in the back. Other drivers like Byron, they were all kind of together when they restarted the final stage, but he made it up. Byron finished 7th. Bell just didn't have the same car and was only able to muster 7th. Missed opportunity for them, considering just how good they looked heading into this one.
As we close, a reminder, this was like the one normal race of this round. After this, we go to the 2.66 mile Talladega, which is, a restrictor plate track, so anything could happen. And then we go to the track that's kind of Charlotte Roval, the thing, the Frankenstein's track.
Yeah.
Frankenstein's monster of a track.
With the brand new configuration as well.
Yes, with a brand new configuration. So this was, I guess, your easy race. Your easy race. Now you're going to be on pins and needles if you're a playoff driver for the next 2 races, especially after a non-playoff driver won today. So this was supposed to be like your one gimme race, and
no one got a gimme.
No one got a gimme. This weekend, Talladega Superspeedway. I'm Dale McFadin with Frontstretch.com, and this is
Steven Stumpf.
We hope you enjoyed the race. It was a thriller. It was fun to watch. You guys enjoy your week, and then enjoy Talladega next weekend. Take care.
Steven Stumpf of Frontstretch.com here. Come back for more great racing videos, and if you like us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.